This episode of Super GG Radio is brought to you by our Patreon. Patrons of the show can get our Dogs of Super GG Radio newsletter, Super GG Radio stickers to slap on your closest PC or bag, input on what we cover, game nights with the hosts, and even a chance to win a copy of an indie we talked about. Not only that, but 90% of all patron contributions go to the Children's Miracle Network of Hospitals. Visit patreon.com/superggradio to learn more.
What's good, Internet, and welcome to session 209 of Super GG Radio, where friends chat about video games and all things adjacent. This week we continue with the anime, and now, this guy right here. I'm your teenager, Eric Getty Gettinger, who's traveling back in time to find shards of a broken gem. With me is half-dog demon with a sassy attitude, Alex Arona.
Aw, man, I don't want to be the half-dog demon.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
we're going to make out later.
I absolutely don't want that. I want to be the scientist that goes back in time and then hangs out with his own son. That's what I want to be.
Mm-hmm. Not even if I tell you, sip boy? Uh-huh.
How dare you?
Uh-huh.
How dare you?
Worth a shot. Also with us is Wild Child and full-on beast of the podcast, Joel DeWitt.
What's a coda? Is that really an anime? I only watch the ones that have new metal soundtracks on it.
Street Fighter 2, the animated.
It's got to be peak 90s.
Fatal Fury,
This
the
is
animated.
definitely peak 90s. It's action-packed. It's got a love triangle, time travel, a sword that grows. Enough of that.
I still don't even know what this one is.
Really? Last and never least is Kitsune, friend of the crew, Alec Parks.
I have been compared to a fox before, so it must be true. I sure am smart like one.
Alex got it.
Don't like it.
Inuyasha opening. Man, we made it all the way to Alec before he called it. Awesome.
I forgot that this sword grew. That was a...
Yeah. It's a real weird one.
Didn't it have, like, hair, too?
It had, like, a fleece around it. Like a...
It had a furry hilt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, yeah, thank you for humoring me. So, this week, we're gonna get all the feels and early adopters. Getting some new ink with the news, and then we're gonna let Alex make us sad again in the backlog.
I am here for it.
It's not a podcast if Alex doesn't make us all depressed.
The funnier part is that every time I bring a depressing indie game on the podcast, you know that I've already played like 3 more.
3 more sad ones?
Yep.
Yeah, well,
I'm just loading up the chamber, buddy.
that just sounds dirty. How dirty can we make this? Nope.
Less anime
With the
and
prospects
more...
of a swear jar, not at... Well, it's all innuendo.
This is less anime and more sad guy summer. But
Inuyasha or Inuyendo?
No.
Tridone was better.
Also, it's Short King Spring.
Is it?
I feel like that deserves to go in the jar.
I need an explanation on Short King Spring.
It's when you celebrate your short
No,
kings.
No. Oh my gosh.
I'm a short king. I'm into it.
I don't know that that's accurate. Isn't there a height
I
requirement?
feel like it's anybody under 6 foot.
That's dumb.
Isn't that just
No,
an
it's anybody
average
under
king?
like 5.
How dare you?
You should Google
I'm
it.
anything but average.
He's an average Joe. All right. Let's get
Anything
this
but
thing rolling. Heading on over to Early Adopters, where we play alphas, betas, and games that make me wonder why people still romanticize high school. Hey guys, this week I played Goodbye Volcano High. Did you play Goodbye Volcano High?
Yeah.
It's kind of funny. Yeah.
I find that debatable. I feel like...
I thought about that recently where I was like, why do people romanticize high school?
Yep. So I'm willing to bet that most of you guys played this in the last 24 hours.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I played it about 96 hours ago, so it's your podcast now.
And I tried to play it, but the demo was gone.
Oh, burn!
Yeah.
That's not correct.
Yeah, it wasn't there today when I went to go try and download it.
That's when I downloaded it.
What?
Oh, man.
I mean,
Is this a Linux thing?
No.
It might be a Linux thing.
Better not be.
The worst.
It says it runs on a potato, so, you know.
Did it actually say that?
Alex,
Oh, wow, the demo is gone. Must have
the
been gone by noon.
internet would like you to know that it's 5'8" and under. 5'8"
5'8" and under?
So you, in fact, are not.
Okay, so I'm not a short king.
And nope. Just a regular guy on a podcast talking about Volcano High. You guys like
I'm
dinosaurs?
still a king. It's dinosaurs.
How many dinosaurs?
Which it's kind of funny. We played. What was that game last week? The Dino.
Nope, that was a
Six
couple
City?
of weeks ago.
Oh, what was it called though? Dino
Punk?
Yeah, Dino Punk.
Punk.
Punk. Oh yeah, Dino Punk. Yeah. And that one was about dinosaurs and trying to find a mate, and then this one is dinosaurs in high school. But there is definitely like an underlying tone of like, oh, there's a meteor coming. It's getting real dark there.
Based on that opening where
The end is nigh.
everybody's hanging out at the campfire, and they are definitely hinting at something that's going to happen. So this Goodbye Volcano High, it is a visual novel with some Guitar Hero elements to it.
Yes.
That's how I would describe it.
And it's very like cartoon animated. It felt like a Saturday morning cartoon.
I thought it was
And that these
really good quality. I thought it was
And
like
the dinosaurs look very like I want to say there was a lot of style and flair to them. You
Yep.
see like the hipster who's like got the hair swoop and wearing some headphones, some big old headphones all the time.
Big
whether he's
ol'
listening to something or
headphones.
not. I always tried to be that guy though, for sure. It's like always have the headphones.
the
even when
cool
not
guy?
listening to it. Yeah, and I wasn't. That's
it's
okay.
not too late.
I mean, the airport is a place that's now a thing, but not normal day-to-day life. Anyway, so that you interact with your friends, and you're telling the story about your character who's trying to get the band off the ground, but it seems like all the other band members seem to be enjoying other parts of their life a little bit more, and it seems like you're the only one kind of holding on to this dream. I definitely kind of got that feel of like, you're the one kind of left holding the bag. And,
Everybody else has aspirations, at least ideas of what they want to do with their
Yes.
lives, and your character's still trying to make a pipe dream happen, trying to push everybody else into becoming a part of this band that they do. It seems like they do it for fun, but they really want you to go above and beyond and like break out, become a hit, and the gateway to that is the Battle of the Bands, and that's the lead up to the story, is that you officially are going to be able to audition for the Battle of the Bands with your crew, but they all seem, kind of iffy on it.
Well, the other part is that the way you got at the audition is you gave the guy a new song that is completely different than what your band has done before. You kind of did it on your own, so they don't feel like they're as involved.
Yeah, but
which I understand as well.
Different can be good, Alex.
Well, no one says it isn't, but at the same time, it's hard to
You
feel like
did.
that's... Your character, all the other characters don't feel like they're kind of as involved, and also they got other parts of their lives going on. One wants to be a bug scientist, and your drummer just seems to really like playing D&D, or as they call it in this world, LNL.
Mm-hmm.
Lawyers and Lawns?
Not quite. They didn't say what it was.
We'll find out, I'm sure, if we play the full game, which I know I will.
Lagoons and lizards.
That's it.
That's pretty good. How long? That took you a little bit, Joel.
I had to think on it.
There you go. Joel, what did you think of this one?
No, that took too much brain power. I can't talk about the game now.
Good. No.
I think it captured a certain vibe really well. We played what's that one that's being made by people? Welcome to Elk.
Dead Pets Unleashed.
Dead Pets Unleashed. That one definitely had a note of like attitude and almost like an irreverence, and this one felt more sincere.
Yes.
And so I do appreciate that. The characters, their dialogue feels very natural, whereas Dead Pets was very bombastic and sort of out there. And the characters all seem, for the most part, likable up to this point. I think that, if I remember right, the teacher is maybe on the annoying side a little bit, but not out of scope of what you might feel like interacting with a teacher trying to take your phone, right?
The teacher's like trying to get people talking and say like, what are your plans after school? And yeah, I get it. It's kind of annoying that you want to text your friends, but as I've grown older, like, teacher's not wrong.
No.
You gotta get these kids prepared. It's their senior year, and they're just kind of like, after you get your phone taken away, everybody else is like, oh, I don't have a signal on my phone either. Like, great. Nobody's doing what they're supposed to. You're all on your phones. So it can be very frustrating.
Because we definitely did not have phones in schools, and I can only imagine that it would be absolutely a nightmare to be at a school where all.
That's what it's like at work now. Everybody's
Kelly
like,
Kelly would agree with you. Yeah, it's a common nightmare for us to deal with. But the gameplay itself, Guitar Hero is right, but they handle it in the controls kind of smartly. So you have the left, right, up for certain beats, and then there's also cursors where you need to hit X as a winnowing circle surrounds into a certain spot that you need to time it with. And then they actually use the trigger buttons too in certain spots. So it does sort of emulate that kind of coordination beyond just 1, 2, 3, 4 button on a fret that works really well. And it also does that good thing of changing the actual sound of the song as to whether or not you hit the notes right. And I'm guessing that they changed the dialogue a little bit based off that, because I definitely told my bandmates it'll sound better once we work on it together.
I hit every note, and it still did that.
Oh, okay. All right.
I did pretty good, and they go, well, I could practice some more.
So maybe a little bit different.
Yeah.
Joel, let me throw something out there, and you tell me if it seems like it's in the same thread or vein. The original Life is Strange. Did you get that feel from the characters off the bat?
Yeah, I did. I mean, Life is Strange, you're at sort of a prep school, so a lot of people are just kind of assholes. That's cool. But
is that Jar?
Shit.
That's another Jar.
That's definitely Jar.
Ooh.
I'm off to a bad start
out
here.
Yeah.
Brok, don't keep count yet. But it goes back to that sincerity, right? You are getting that feel of being in a high school, being a senior. Your character is clearly communicating sort of the want to explore her dreams, but also that rubbing up against everybody else looking for their life plan and sort of being pragmatic about their situation. And that also kind of tracks with Chloe, which is, I think it's Chloe in Life is Strange. Max and
Chloe.
Yeah, who are also just sort of in that Arrested Development kind of stage. The conversation she has with her bandmates in this also, they do such a good job of really showing how intent your character is to explore it. Even talking about how, the reason why she brought up the song is because the person who organizes the Battle of the Bands basically said, like, your music you have right now is shit, and you need to come up with something new if you want a chance to be in this. And so they got it, like, organizer approved for them to join it. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of a fun dialogue back and forth, because your bandmates are like, well, what about these two songs? And they're just kind of like really crazy song names that are probably clearly like 2.5 minute, like, quick lick
Screaming.
Yeah, stuff like that. Things you would write when you are 14 or 15.
Yep.
So they set the table really well for what you can kind of expect out of this game, at least in terms of tone and tenor. And I really found the hook at the beginning really interesting. because they give you a yes/no question at the start, and as far as I know, it's basically whether or not you throw this book in a fire that you're all standing around. Right?
Yeah.
What did you guys choose?
Do it.
I threw it in the fire.
Yeah, me too. Okay.
I mean, it just felt like the right thing to do. No context, and everybody's standing around and they're like, what's it going to be?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it felt very like a "are you going to hold on to something or let it go" kind of question, and I chose let it go. So
Yeah, same. I still have my yearbooks, but they're gathering dust. Like a box.
will you ever look at them again?
No.
No, never.
So why do you keep them?
Uh,
So when you die, Robin can look through your boxes and find the yearbook.
well, right now it's kind of like every once in a while. Like, we're kind of at a weird age where I'm starting to see, like, certain classmates are like, oh, that person died. And it's like, wait, what?
Yeah.
And I'm like, wait, who is that person again? Oh, yeah, okay. That's a bummer.
Who?
You know?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We've had a couple that, like, have had some early deaths that we were, like, kind of, like, very shocks to a lot of our age group and our classmates. So every once in a while it's like, oh, refresh my memory. Who was that? Oh, yeah, now I actually can feel bad.
You should always feel bad.
Well, yes, of course. A general sadness around anybody dying is
I meant just
meant like
In
day to
general.
day. Just a
it
general
helps for me
sadness.
to put a name to a face.
You should be more sad. What have you done? All right, so goodbye, Volcano High. I think that I'm sold on this. Even for the limited amount of time I spent with this demo, there's a lot going on. I love the art style. I like the character development. The one with the bugs, I think it's Trish.
Mm-hmm.
I think stand out my favorite character.
Yeah,
Just-
she's a character.
Yeah, with how excited she is about her little bug, Peach. I want to say
I looked
was
it up.
Peach.
That thing's real, and it is gross.
Yeah. It's got like goop shooters, right?
Goop shooters.
Mhm.
Yes, that was how she described it.
Yep, shooting goop all over the place.
I don't like that.
Yeah,
sound.
I feel like that goes into the jar.
No, it's verbatim from the game.
There are no swears in that sentence.
Yeah. What did Alex say?
it-
Innuendo.
Also, this game is definitely like my jam. This is the like Alex Arona special. Like, let's make a real weird hipster visual novel with very light mini game aspects to it, and some weird esoteric notion about like, we're all getting older and closer to death as an overall message. Yeah, I'm in. And I'm going to bring it back to the podcast, and it's going to be depressing.
Mm-hmm. We're going to be sad, because that's what we do
I'm excited
here.
for that. I'm excited for it.
All right. That's not all, folks.
Speaking of depressing,
Man, we played another visual
This is a
novel-esque game.
this is Joel's special.
This one Joel brought to the table, Harmony Fall of Reverie. Where do I begin?
Probably
This
the beginning.
is the Life is Strange people.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, it is a don't nod joint.
And it is definitely... So the contrast between the two games that we played, both of them being visual novel-y, Harmony is more of a... I want to say down-to-earth, but then it takes a twist almost right off the bat. But there's...
Yeah, you're certainly not in Kansas anymore.
Yeah, you're
Nope.
not even in the regular part of the game, but you are in more of a real world, if not extremely technologically advanced. Imagine like a 1984 kind of situation is what I was kind of thinking, along the lines
Oh,
of
yeah,
that.
cameras everywhere.
Big Brother is definitely watching, and there's a big corporation that is framed as the bad guy right off the bat. But you play as who's got the name? Because
Holly.
All right, and her mother has gone missing,
Yep.
and you are returning to where she was living, more or less your home, to find out what happened and pick up the pieces, because everybody there is I guess, in some stages of grief with the situation and how it happened. But there's a lot more to it. Based on, you walk into her bedroom and are, I'm going to say, assailed by a necklace, which takes you into a completely different world. And then I'll pass it over to Joel, because I know he's dying to talk about this one.
I don't know that assailed is the right word.
You were attacked.
You were invited.
You were.
The necklace just flies into the bathtub, and you're just like.
It attacked me.
I did not consent to this necklace. No.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
See. Maybe I didn't want to.
So I think you set the stage for the real life stuff, and once you hit that necklace, it sends you into this sort of different dimension where this quirky character starts calling you Harmony. And basically, there are these different almost sages that are there communicating with you, and you find out that your mother was the last person to have this necklace and be able to communicate with them. Mm-hmm. But there are some unanswered mysteries on both sides of the different worlds, the real world and this sort of alternate dimension world, that are colliding, where the sages need to sort of piece together a mystery that starts with trying to figure out where Truth the name of the one they needed to wake up was, and then I imagine it's going to intertwine with the mystery of like where your mother went and what happened to her.
Absolutely.
Because part of the story is that like nobody knows what happened to her. It isn't like so and so said that she like fell off a cliff and died. It is all just, well, she disappeared 2 days ago. And then the process of actually playing out in the real world is trying to talk with people, get clues, or lead to certain conversations that'll allow you to then move on to different portions of the story. The system itself that they handle it under is sort of a branching path. And so there will be critical story pieces you have to do as part of the story. And then as you make choices that sort of align with the different sage-like characters. So one is power, one is... what are the other ones' names? One is like, not unity, but cooperation or something like that. But they each have their own crystal forms where you will make a choice, and then depending on whose you align with, what kind of approach you take, you'll get a gem for them. And you'll reach certain branching points where you have to have X amount of certain gems to say go the power way with your authoritative sort of response to things, or to go through that more like middle ground understanding, or go with that more like quirky, upbeat, helpful kind of communication path. And so it does that whole choose your adventure thing, and it gives the extra little like layer with that, to where you almost have to kind of strategize how you want to split your choices so you don't block off the opportunity to make different choices later.
Yep. Yeah.
And obviously there is also a lot of like, oh, you got to play, let's play it again, and let's play with a different route, because again, you see the branching paths are all laid out in front of you, so you can actively see which okay, if I go this way, it's going to go that way, and it'll go that way. It'll open a whole other thing.
Yep, and so it'll tell you the thrust of like how you're going to approach someone. So one person you come across that you're asking for help using their underground network to try to figure out what happened to your mother, you can choose more or less like a direct approach, or choose more of a like leading question kind of approach, and that will actually play out in the dialogue depending on which you choose. What kind of outcome difference it has, I'm not sure. I think you'd have to play it more than once to suss out how much impacts things directly. And the game also tells you certain choices are like, this is a point of no return. This is going to be like the choice that sets you down a certain path. So it does earmark that a little bit.
Yeah.
But there's a healthy amount of mystery to it, and that's really what you want with this kind of game. Just understand, again, it's very visual novel. Most of it's solid state images with some
Very colorful design, though. Really colorful design, really well animated.
It is. It is a little more muted in tone than the first game we just talked about. But
Goodbye, Volcano High.
I do want to jump in. The standing art for the characters, I wasn't in love with it as much as I had hoped to be. Some of the movements were a bit awkward. So, I don't know. Either game that we played this week, I thought that both of them are very well voice acted wise. As a matter of fact, already went back and looked at the Volcano High cast just to get a look at it again.
It's some big names.
It's pretty impressive. I'm glad that we see some of the same people making their rounds. But yeah, Harmony, there's a lot going on here, and I really didn't get a chance to play as much. I only made it through the first full tree, like that first full path, but it continues on after that. So I can only assume that the choices that you make get more and more in-depth as you learn about what happened, and more about the world, I assume. There has to be something going on in both of the worlds that is causing the Reverie to end.
Slowly die.
Yep.
Yeah.
So both of these are downers.
I think that they're not downers. I think they're exciting because of the idea of having these more cerebral visual novels being played out in front of us. It's nothing mindless. It's nothing that's like silly. These are what feels like very heavily emotional tales.
That's what I meant. You've got a dying world in one, and then the implications that there's a meteor coming in the other one. It's going to end everything. So things are not looking so great.
Make me feel the feels.
You are going to later.
Yes, that's a plan.
All right, so Harmony...
I like a good cry.
Harmony, I want to say, do we have a date for that one? Is that one closer to release?
Yeah, I think it's June 15th.
Mm-hmm. And Volcano, I think we're still waiting on. I know I've heard of it before today.
I think I actually ran across them saying it's to be delayed a bit. So.
Okay.
They're saying August right now.
Okay. Stuff to keep an eye out for later. Definitely check these ones out.
Wishlisted.
Yep. Go do it. Click it. It doesn't cost anything to wishlist a game.
Did you click it yet?
Yeah, did you?
I did.
All right.
I was asking the audience.
The audience. Alec.
Hey, we've got an audience of 2.
Woo! Are you moderating the chat?
I hope they clicked it.
Yes, the chat is very lively.
Okay, moderate.
It's not.
All right,
I'm also
let's
in the chat.
go ahead.
I'm going to start putting obscenities in there.
Nope.
I will ban you.
It counts if you type it.
Yeah, let's take
the swear jar?
Take a quick break to express our feelings, and we'll see you on the other side. Hey, News. I think it's time for Alex to get a video game tattoo. Let's help him pick it out.
Okay, I have 3 clear options.
No, you don't get to choose. The news is helping me decide.
I have 3 clear options.
The news is helping me decide.
4 clear options for you.
All right. First piece of news. This is a link that I didn't click on.
Joel's work.
Nintendo reports
to write articles.
Switch sales slow down and warns no new hardware this year. So no Switch 2 is coming this year? Why
Fiscal
not?
year.
So it's fiscal year.
It's not until somewhere after March of next year. I mean, I don't know.
Smart.
But I think that's also, it's kind of not surprising, right? Like, Zelda's just come out. They've got a couple other games down the pipe here. They got a big boon from COVID because everybody was stuck at home and needed something to play.
Yep.
So I'm not surprised that they've held off this long with it. But
PS5 dropped the bag that entire time. So
yeah, Yep. Although you can find those, they had the God of War bundle for like $500 at a few stores not too long ago.
Wow.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I just meant like COVID.
Yeah, right.
During COVID, they entirely dropped the ball.
But those scalpers had a hell of a time, though. It was good money for them. But yeah, that's where we're at. Well, I'll be curious to see if it's just a Switch 2 or if Nintendo tries to do something different. But
Go from the Switch to the Swatch.
I really,
oh man,
I want them to do
Like
the
Swatches.
reverse of what Sony's doing with like adding a handheld that connects to their PlayStation 5. I want Switch 2 to be just a dock that has hardware inside of it that can run its own games and connect to your Switch if you want to do something with that, or you put your dock Switch in the dock and then it's like a 32X. It's like a 32X.
yeah. See, now you're talking my language.
Get real dumb with it.
Yeah.
I'd
yeah,
buy
I was thinking
that.
32X.
I don't care if it'd be terrible. I'd buy it.
Alec was the only one I ever met that had a 32X.
Yeah.
It ran Doom pretty well.
I only know Knuckles Chaotix, and I only know like 15 minutes of that game. I really want to play that.
That was a good one.
Bring Knuckle Chaotix to PC, you cowards.
How many people do you think remember Knuckles Chaotix?
Well, enough that they
Oh.
keep bringing those characters back.
All of our listenership, which is us.
I mean, look at the Sonic murdered. Who murdered Sonic? Right, that was littered with Chaotix characters.
Was it?
Yeah, the bee, the
I'm
alligator,
kidding.
Espio.
Come on.
Espio's the worst.
All right. So, when is the new Nintendo coming? Who knows?
Never.
What is it going to look like?
Who knows?
Who knows?
Are we reporting on this? Yes, and I want you to remember it. we,
I mean, we got rumors for days, buddy.
we are the ones that forced Nintendo to create a new system. Yes.
You're
All
welcome.
right. We can wish anything we want into existence here on the podcast. Speaking of wishing something into existence, I'm going to jump over to Silksong first. Hollow Knight Silksong officially pushed out of the first half of 2023, begging the question, which is going to come first, Starfield or Silksong?
So
I
I mean,
mean,
that's still up in the air.
Given that this was the first news that we've actually had about how it's going, not Hollow Knight.
I mean,
It's
to be
never coming
fair,
out.
their response was, "Hey, it's actually going really well, and we're just having a lot of fun with it."
Yeah, I'll believe it when they show something.
same with
They did already
Starfield.
show something.
Yeah, I'll believe what Starfield is when it's a thing.
Tell me that Starfield's not just No Man's Sky.
I had seen something, and I don't know if it's true, but they're supposed to get an M rating for something very provocative involving a jetpack.
Oh, man, jetpacks are cool.
Mm-hmm. So,
Does the
what's
jetpack
Starfield?
swear?
I don't know. I hope so. It'll be like that High on Life game. Ooh,
Oof.
it's a real weird one.
I downloaded.
Sadly, it was funnier that people started turning around on that until Justin Roiland came out as a kind of crappy.
I downloaded that out of morbid curiosity, and it was on my Xbox for a week, and then said, "What am I doing?" And then I deleted it.
I played through the first mission, and I was like, man, this is a Rick and Morty game. It's just like if somebody took Rick and Morty and made it into a game. It's yeah. All right. We're done with that. All right. Next piece of news. New Mortal Kombat reboot imminent with rumors of Peacemaker being a bonus character. Imminent. Reboot.
They are. There is a teaser on the Mortal Kombat Twitter account that shows a video of the hands of a clock going from 11 all the way to 1, stating that it might just be a full reboot of Mortal Kombat 1. And if you know anything about those games and how that storyline has played out, they've actively rebooted it already. This will be the 3rd time.
Wow.
Or, no, they've gone through it, then rebooted it. I think Mortal Kombat 9 was the story of Mortal Kombat 1, 2, and 3. And then Mortal Kombat 10 was the story of the rest of them. Mortal Kombat 11 was a news story where some Time Lord demon was fighting the characters, and so they had to, so somebody had to go through time and pluck out the heroes in random timelines to fight against the villain. So it was even outside of the timeline.
So 11 happens. You can't undo 11.
Yeah, so that's why it's going to 1. They're saying, well, we've done everything we can to the point that we're fighting Time Lords.
Yeah, once you put time into it, everything is up in the air and up for grabs, right?
So you might as well just kind of start from 1 again.
Who knows? Does the story need to make sense?
Absolutely not.
Good.
Some people really like those stories, actually.
They've really
right
gone
answer.
to some in-depth places.
Oh, yeah, I'm just saying you could do crazy stuff with it. But does it have to make sense? No, they could just
Not
put out
necessarily.
whatever they want. And people are still going to play it as a fighter. That they've been able to do this? Good for them. Those Injustice games were a lot of fun, too.
Yeah, that second one especially had a really good story.
All right. Delays. Dragon Age Dreadwolf won't come out until next April, says EA. All right.
What kind of game is that? That's not a mainline, was it?
Yeah, it
Yes.
is.
Oh, okay.
It's the next Dragon Age.
What is it going to entail? Nobody knows. They set up that third one for almost an immediate sequel to that storyline. They really haven't done a direct sequel when it comes to the main character, so...
Yeah, and
It'll-
Dreadwolf was a character from that Dragon Age.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see what happens with it. Circle back around probably next year when I get that game.
If it comes out then.
It's bound. Something's bound to come out. I'll be playing games. I don't know if it'll be that game, but System Shock remake gets a May 30th release date. Woo, we played that bad boy on the podcast.
Like a year and a half ago.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody plan on getting it?
Kind of. It's real dark.
Yes.
There's a
I
lot
don't
of shooty
know if-
shoots.
Yeah, I don't know if I have it in me for right now. I just have if I'm gonna play I'm still behind. I haven't played Atomic Heart, and that was on my list for ever. I was super excited.
Do you have
I
it?
just didn't get around to it. Yeah.
Really?
That's Game Pass, isn't it?
Yes. It's installed.
You're gonna make it to that this year?
No. That's what I'm saying. Is that if I don't know if I'll get to it this year, so I don't know if System Shock's going to be on the
I don't know, dude. I don't know how long it's going to be on Game Pass, but maybe it'll be on there forever.
I mean, worst case scenario, what is it going to be? $20 by the time it gets off of Game Pass? That's
It's
fine.
going to be something, all right. You're going to have to pay the piper.
$20,
It's time to pay the piper.
maybe $15 at Black Friday.
Whoa.
I saw Forspoken at 30.
Still too much.
I feel like it's probably not too much. Alex is
It's
just
too much
really
money.
picky about
This is too much money.
paying for games that he's not even going to play for the next 10 years, so...
Yep, exactly. So it's too much money.
All right. Anyway, Metal Gear Solid 3 Remake is said to be a Sony PlayStation exclusive. Why would they do
Yes.
that?
Well, I mean, it's so much what the rumor for the Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater remake has been in the works for a long time.
This is
And all
ridiculous.
this-
It's not like
but then-
they've. Oh, let's see. All right, so Metal Gear 2. There was a special version of Metal Gear 2 that made its way to Xbox.
Oh, I think this is more about the fact that they're going they're going probably in order of the timeline.
Yeah, but I'm just trying to rationalize this. And then 3 was the original of the first release of 3. Did that make it everywhere?
No.
No.
I think it eventually came out later for Xbox.
Everything up to 4 was originally PlayStation exclusive. And then 2 and 3 found itself ported
Yeah.
to Xbox 360. I think it came to Vita as well. But
But I don't know about
Came to
1,
GameCube.
and I know for a fact 4 has
Yeah.
still not left.
there was a remake of 1 that came to GameCube. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
but never went to Xbox.
they've always been kind of in the same bed with Sony. So I'm not terribly surprised by this, but they are definitely limiting themselves a bit.
Oh yeah, another weird one. Metal Gear Solid 3 was on the 3DS.
That's a real weird one.
And at the time, it didn't have the dual stick thing, so you had to buy a special controller you plugged into it that gave it a right stick to play. Just Nintendo stuff.
So this rumor kind of comes out the fact that all of a sudden Sony has a deal with Konami for exclusivity. The other positive thing is that this is not in the news, but it was actually in the news, is that Sony is finding that they are selling their games on PC at gangbusters. Like, people are buying up these Sony games on PC. Things like, what was it?
Last of Us, Spider-Man.
Last of Us, Spider-Man. What was the
Horizon
Final
Zero
Fantasy.
Dawn?
Horizon.
Yeah.
The was it Drake? Whatever the
Uncharted games.
Those games all really sold well. Also, that the Returnal sold really well. So, and then the thing is, The Last of Us sold really well despite how bad it came out.
I imagine a lot of that is just, number one, pent-up demand again from people who don't have PlayStation, but then two, riding off the heels of that TV show probably did it a lot of favors.
Oh, yeah.
And then obviously now you have also the Steam Deck as well, because I'm told Returnal is fantastic on the Steam Deck.
Man, did you guys finish Returnal?
I was actually thinking about going back to it today.
Zelda comes out tomorrow.
I heard it comes out tonight if you go and steal a copy.
I wouldn't
Go to
even
one
be
of the
able to
midnight
play
releases.
it if I stole it tonight. I'm so busy this week.
Get them midnight releases.
Yeah, man, tell me about it. We got
Joel, you got to really get to be where the point that your game store, everybody knows your name. Then they'll do hookups for you. Just like that time I got Death Stranding. The employee, the nice, lovely GameStop employee, said that she would wait in the parking lot with my copy.
I know the people at my local video game store. We both know buddy.
They wouldn't do nothing for you.
We both know buddy. We both know somebody who works in the organization, and I still can't get a good deal. No bueno.
I don't know what to tell you, man.
Yeah, you're not doing enough, man. They don't like you there.
My GameStop was nice enough to give my copy to Lisa because they're like, "Oh, you're here all the time." That was of Jedi, so.
Yeah. I get in there, and then all of a sudden I start trying to help people with games, and they're like, "You should work here," and I'm like, "I don't know, I can't afford it."
I can't
Been
do
there,
that.
done that.
Alec, you worked there for many years.
Yes, I did.
It's okay. You don't have to go back, but if you want to, I'm sure that you definitely could. All right.
What else is getting teased here, Getty?
Me.
I don't like that at all.
because somebody's gonna try and make me play Payday 3.
Yeah, Payday 3. Payday 3.
Remember that time when Payday 2 was gonna be video game homework, but Alex got real mad that he went back in and they changed so much stuff?
There was all these different currencies, and each character had like four skill trees.
Yeah.
And there used to be only 4 characters. Now there's like 12. It was just a lot.
It's too much change.
Sounds like Rainbow Six at this point.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying is that like I don't think it's too much. I just thought that like if I was gonna play Payday with you guys, I could be your Sherpa, and then I realized I can't be your Sherpa.
Hey Alex, you know what else I realized? I keep
that?
going onto Steam and I see like, hey, you should definitely come back to Warframe. We're doing a lot of crazy stuff. And all I could do is think about you and how you played it up until it turned into the Matrix.
Oh, no, Getty. The reason why they keep talking about it, and I've been talking to the Gaming Fix folks about this as well, is that they added a second twist. And I know what the twist is.
Don't tell anybody. You can't tell anybody. Alex.
But to do the twist, you got to play like 40 more hours.
Okay.
And me and Andre are discussing like, okay, when are we gonna play this? And I installed it on the PS5.
Tell me the twist on the break.
No. Yeah.
Okay, I'll tell you the twist.
You can't tell it to our viewership who might think about one day playing Warframe. I can't.
No, I'll tell you. I think Alec was the one that told me the twist, right? I think Alec was. Yeah.
You knew the twist.
I'll tell you guys the twist.
Okay, perfect.
I found out the twist thanks to our DM.
Yep.
Oh, that's fun. Yeah, this weekend we have Dungeons and Dragons, and then Sunday is a celebration of our mothers. So
Great. Thanks for my one last thing.
I celebrate your mothers every day.
See,
like that.
Alex, I feel like that's a line right there. All right, last official piece of news. Darkest Dungeon 2 goes 1.0. That was this last week?
It was on the 8th.
The 8th. So that was this week. Oh.
Yeah,
It was Monday.
So fancy. All right.
Yeah, they came out of early access, and people seem to think it's okay. It's just not the same game.
I feel like people were already saying it wasn't the same game when they first were like, hey, we're making it. Here's early access.
Yep. Oh, yeah, exactly. But, like, new reviewers are just like, it's not the same. It's like, well,
It's not this. Does it need to be?
it's fine. No, that's what I'm saying. It doesn't need to be. That's
Does
exactly
it
what I'm
need
saying.
to be?
Well, I mean,
Huh.
the one Tears of the Kingdom review that Joel found that was a 6 out of 10 said, it's not like old Zeldas. And I'm like, well,
Alec?
Right? That sounds like my review.
like you
This
said,
is
Joel,
open
it is
world,
it's a
and nobody
valid
wants
criticism. But also, like Joel wrote, it's all about your expectations.
Yeah.
Maybe the expectation was it was going to go back to a simpler time. Oh.
Lowered expectations.
Yes. So, now we move on to my favorite part of the podcast, freebies.
Freebies!
Freebie.
Freebies! I thought your favorite part of the podcast is when it ends.
That too. I can have two favorite parts.
Okay, what do we got, Gaddy? Hit me with the freebies. I'm
Wait,
ready.
I want to know what Joel's playing right now.
I am playing... What is it called? Retro
Hey, Joel,
Bowl.
what you playing?
Retro Bowl. It's
Oh,
real good.
alright.
Why are you playing a game during the podcast, Joel?
He doesn't have
I
answers.
got nothing.
All right, let's do these freebies. First one up.
Ready.
Sims 4 Daring Lifestyle Bundle over on the Epic Game Store. Do you like The Sims?
4? Get the Daring Lifestyle Bundle, where you'll be dating, getting cool styles and trends, and enjoying your time in the Sim world. Waiting for that Sim 5, baby. I've never played a Sims game.
I think I've played the first one.
I'm sure I got
Doesn't
it
matter.
for free at some point.
Yeah, for sure. Next one, Hot Shot Racing over on Fanatical.
You like racing? You like them speed racers? Some Need for Speeds? Them Horizon Chase Turbos? Get some of that with some cell shading games and some 8 different characters to play online and race your friends.
Is this game about family?
No, this looks like to be actual race cars.
All right.
Not muscle cars or cool Japanese drifting cars.
Ah.
Tokyo Drift was the best one.
Next one, Chicken Fight over on Steam.
2D platformers, chickens, baseball bats, and rockets. Need more? Fight other player chickens in a fast-paced platformer fighter.
We have Flowball over on Steam.
Flowball, a 3D ball is going from left to right on in a 2D plane, and your job is to move platforms underneath it to keep that ball a-flowing. Incredibly challenging ball precision platformer that requires you to beat all 19 levels in the same session in order to be victorious. Oh wow, this is like a roguelike.
I thought he was
Miss it.
describing Pong there for a second. All right.
No, but this is a roguelike though. If you don't make it, you have to restart.
Beach Island Deluxe on Steam.
Beach Island Deluxe is what I like to call these throwback character action platformers, trying to look like that Mario 64. I played one that was called Kiwi 64. That was an excellent one. But now we have Beach Island Deluxe. You play a snowman on the beach, trying to make it to collect all the Beach Island stars. Little stars you can collect while avoiding skull bombs and doing tricky platforming with vents and fences and all sorts of shenanigans, and looks pretty cool. Actually, I might pick this one.
Glad we could talk you into it.
It's definitely in Mario 64 style.
We have Idol Showdown on Steam.
Y'all like idols? Those cool J-pop stars? I was listening to a lot of K-pop today. I actually kind of got into it. And it turns out Robin really likes K-pop, just for reference. This is a fan-made 2D pixel fighter a la Street Fighter, but all of the characters are real-life idols. So you could tell this is a real fan-made game, considering that no one probably has the right to any of these likenesses. But as you can see, it's on Steam, so no one's arguing, and you can get it for free $9.99.
Yeah. And then Flappy Souls on Steam.
If Flappy Bird wasn't hard enough, play Flappy Souls. It's Flappy Bird with a real Dark Souls aesthetic. Blood red sun in the sun or moon, can't tell, in the background as a backdrop to your constant flapping in order to survive.
All right. So the plan is to abduct Alex this weekend and pick that tattoo for him. Alec, it's up to us.
That's okay. There's not really D&D this weekend. We got the plan.
Yeah, we're gonna get him. We're gonna say that we're gonna get him drunk, and we're just gonna kidnap him.
So the options are Hollow Knight, or the cast with full, accurate pixel renditions of Final Fantasy VI down the forearm.
I think you should
just. That's a big cast, man.
I know. That's why it goes down the forearm.
I think Pac-Man, but not Pac-Man, the one from that Adam Sandler movie.
No.
Oh, that's no good.
I'm going to get him that Kirby with ultra long legs.
Oh, no, that's even worse.
Yes.
What about a Ryu doing a Hadouken on my right bicep and a Ken doing a Dragon Punch on the left bicep?
All right. We're gonna take a break here and discuss off the air.
Joel approves. I'm looking at Joel's face, and he's kind of like, "Damn, that's actually a good idea. I wish I had thought of that."
You say Street Fighter, and I'm already halfway there. So,
okay.
All right, Alec, take us out of here. Oh, we're back with the Backlog Blog where we play games. Wow, someone played Redfall. I wonder who that could be. I guess by process of elimination, it's Joel. Alec is out. Alex has got his own life. I'm a survivor right now. So yeah, I guess that leaves Joel. All right, so we're going to do something interesting and fun that we've done in the past. Joel, I'm feeling generous tonight. I will give you 90 seconds.
90 seconds.
To talk about Redfall. Everything that you care to share in that tight 90-second package.
All right.
But first, you have to eat this hot pepper.
No. We are not
hot pepper gaming, no.
But first, you need to chug a Drowsy from drinkpoggers.com.
Oh, yeah. You need to head over to drinkpoggers.com and use code SUPER...
No, it's a good game.
No, it's a good game. Good game. All one word?
Right.
At checkout.
All one word.
10% off your order. All right. When you are ready.
All right. Redfall is a multiplayer shooter survival game. You are one of 4 members on a team with different powers. There's a person with like ESP or kinesis powers, a sniper, general technician stuff. And the whole point of the game is to go around this world and search for different outposts where you can unlock them as safe spots and then find gear, upgrade gear. You are fighting vampires and then like infantrymen as part of militias in different spots. It is too easy. It is too easy, especially if you're playing with other people. And weirdly enough, I chose a sniper character. You'd think they'd start with a sniper. No, you did a handgun, and then you just had to wait to see if your loot drops end up with a sniper. So, weird distinction to have there. There are some cool weapons. So there is a UV ray gun, which works exclusively against the vampires, which is a really cool thing. It gives this sort of blow-up motion. You have to kill the vampires with stakes, so better hope you have those on hand if you want to try to kill any. And
delicious.
It's weird that they want you to like climb over stuff. So you'll find like cars and containers and things to climb over, but half the time it doesn't understand that you're trying to climb over, or it's very like stuttery and uncomfortable. And I really wanted to like it. I gave it a chance. Don't do it.
And that's time.
I prefer T-bone or skirt.
All right. If you have
call,
any
Joel.
questions or input, or you want to know more about it, you could always reach out
Thank you
to
for
us.
taking a bullet.
I'm glad that somebody got a chance to do it. It seems like there's some fun ideas, but I don't think that this game is quite ready. I think they need to take it back and do a little bit more work on it. All right. Well, again, thank you. And thank you for that very nice 90-second synopsis.
You did it, so I don't have to.
That's the slogan of the podcast.
Yep.
We played it, so you don't have to. All right. Alex brought another sad game.
All right.
And this week, he's going to smile for me.
Yep. Okay. Now, also, this one, I got to say, I'm writing a review for Joel. I feel like this one might be one that you also should check out.
Okay.
It is, and if you look up the trailer, it is a real creepy game. If you're gonna distill it down to a genre, which is really hard to do, it's a point and click adventure. But you are a cartoon. You're first person a person going through this cartoonish landscape, cult, or I mean something to that effect. It's a program where a doctor is promising that in a couple of days he will make everybody smile. So people should come if they're depressed or sad. And his whole advice is keep that sad going. Just really hold on and grip that sadness. Keep them frowns going.
Am I the
drink
doctor?
away the happiness. What?
Am I the doctor? Based on what I said earlier in the
sensible.
podcast?
Yeah. And that he will make everybody sad eventually. Just wait for the special smile day. He'll make everybody smile.
All right.
And that's kind of a very creepy kind of notion. But it is like a game that it's set with a day-night cycle. And you don't really get the nighttime. As soon as it starts to get nighttime, your character gets real drowsy because they're drugging everybody. And you got to make it back to your bed. And then the day starts with a very creepy like message about how everyone should just deep into the sadness. And sometimes it also gives you a little TV show with a real life puppet telling you how you should just really lean into the sad. But your character will go through and solve little puzzles of the people around them and make everybody happy yourself. You will meet somebody and they'll say, I really want blank. And then you have to like talk to somebody else and someone goes, I have this thing, but I also want something else. And you kind of got to figure out how to make every single person happy throughout the facility. And the way that you communicate is that since it's first person, you have to nod or shake your head for yes or no. You talk to people, you have an inventory for those items that you have to interact with people and different objects in the world, but then you also nod or shake your head to speak to them, which is kind of a weird mechanic, and it comes with motion controls. I had to turn those off very quickly because it was all unwieldy.
Oh, jeez.
But it was
awesome.
interesting that they did that. I never would have thought to go that route. You know, they do give you options, say this or say that, so why would you need to nod your head or shake your head? Just give me a yes-no option. But I digress. It's very fun. It's a lot of like quirky characterization. I won't say that the characters feel realistic because it's supposed to be cartoonish in that way. But it is very fun, and like the characters are fun to interact with, and they give you interesting dialogue. And the puzzles, I will say that the puzzles are, I will say 75% good, 25% there's absolutely no freaking way I would have ever figured that out. So I'm so glad there are guides. And that's kind of the complaint for me, is that I don't like when I have to reach that out. Like one of the things that your character says is like, or someone says to you, "Hey, I want this mask to be green," and you find a red mask, and then you interactables get highlighted on the screen on the as you walk around. But one of the interactables is a wet paint spot on a wall, a corner wall that I never would have looked at.
Oh man, that's rough.
Yeah, or one of the things that character then asks for a cape with stars on it, and you find a tent. You're supposed to look and find the tent with the star on it, and if you look at the back corner of the tent, you could kind of cut a piece of the tent off. But I never would have looked at the tent, and nor would I have gone over every inch to find one little tiny piece that's highlighted.
It's frustrating.
Yeah, but the game overall is very good. It's got the real creepy notion. It's something the review is incoming, and one of the things I kind of state is that I really like this is a reason why I like indie games. You can't have something this weird and this outlandish in a world you wouldn't get that in the AAA space. And you wouldn't get this like creepy notion. Like if you stay out too late, the messages from the puppet start getting a little threatening. And then they start giving you real life cam footage. And I didn't investigate that much, but the more I did it, I think it was building to like a huge jump scare.
Oh, you should have done that.
Monster. Yeah, I'm going to go back and do it. But that's what I mean though, is that like the game is built in these weird, just like, oh, it's kind of got jump scares, but it's really fun and quirky. And then also this really creepy tone. It's got a lot to it. And that's what I think is really fun about it, is that it's just telling this weird story of you making everybody in the area happy, and why one doctor wants everyone to be unhappy until he can make them happy.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, that wasn't as depressing as I thought it was going to be, but...
Nah, Smile For Me is awesome. I think that people should try it. It's like 4 hours.
Oh, 4 whole hours?
Yeah, you can do it. Getty would do it this Saturday, and then play some more other games.
No, I don't do that. Who has time for games? Just stop sleeping. That's the way to do it.
Sleep is for the weak.
Yep.
My doctor said that's probably why I'm so stressed. Like, you should probably sleep more.
And you were like, and
Your
you should probably shut your mouth.
Yep. Mind your business, Doc.
You were like,
mind your business.
I don't pay you for your opinion. Now give me them pills.
Pay you to give me more inhaler prescriptions.
Yeah.
Now give me more before I die.
Yeah, you should fall on the ground and start wheezing just to get him.
Getty, I'm asthmatic. I'm always kind of wheezing.
I know. I know it's not funny, but just the thought of you like,
no, I
don't like your tone, and then just like pretend to fall over.
No, I was building up my joke for asthma, so I'm into it.
Okay. All right. I think we can have an episode this week.
Yeah.
We're right about at general Super GG time, so
I'd say so.
yeah. So let's head on over to our one last thing. Oh, should I use what I wrote or what I said earlier?
You tell me.
Man, this is a tough one. I know that grinds are something that we're all going to have to deal with here soon, but let's do the double dump. All right. This one last thing is brought to you by the double dump. You got that game that you need to dump some hours into? Why don't you do it in the bathroom?
That's literally why I have a Steam Deck.
Don't stay there too long. That's how you get hemorrhoids.
Hey,
It also makes your legs go numb.
get your gaming in where you can. Ha ha ha! On the can! Alright, enough toilet humor. My one last thing is that I'm pretty sure that I could finish Jedi Survivor this weekend if I didn't have all of the stuff that I need to do, including Dungeons and Dragons, and of course, getting to celebrate Mother's Day with my family. Alex, what do you got?
Make sure that you go and buy them flowers early. Don't do what I do. Go to Jewel, try to get into a fight with an old lady, and then end up just stealing flowers. What?
Joel?
Wow.
I mean, the other thing I was going to say was I beat 3 games this week, so I'm probably not going to play anymore this week.
It's a lot to unpack, Alex.
I said
That old lady had it coming.
I said last week I was going to attempt to do 2 Final Fantasies. It looks like it might be a challenge to complete one before I start Tears of the Kingdom. I sure tried, and I'm having a good time, but boy, there's a lot of baseball right now. And yeah, now I might be able to finish it just because of my schedule. I'm not sure when I'm going to be able to start Zelda, but we'll see.
You got to get into that, man.
But also, I might be able to dual path that one. Like, that works really well on handheld, especially with the OLED screen. It's nice and crisp and breezy.
All right. Alec, take us home.
You know, Zelda does come out tomorrow. I am not at all interested in it. I'm just going to keep plugging away at Hotline Miami and play some D&D. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Hell yeah.
That reminds me. Hotline Miami. We need a due date. Let's
2
go
weeks?
with... Oh, we'll go June 1st. That gives us a little bit of time. Formulate some thoughts.
3 weeks.
Yeah, I know that Zelda game, what is it? Tears of the Kingdom comes out. So
Yep, that's accurate.
yeah, that'll give everybody a little bit more time to have some fun and enjoy some family time this weekend. Or Dungeons and Dragons. All right.
Woo!
And that'll be it for this week's episode of Super GG Radio. Before we go, you can find us on Twitter at Super GG Radio and twitch.tv/Super GG Radio, where I'm sure that nothing is going to happen this weekend, but Thursdays we have a podcast. You might be watching us right now. You might be enjoying it. You should check it out. And if you're not, still check it out. We need them viewers. Alex isn't going to be able to retire early if we don't get viewers.
I'm never retiring. I'm dying in this chair.
As I said, this weekend, I don't think we're going to have anything, but possibly if Joel can find some time away from all of the responsibilities, he might be playing some Vampire Survivors.
He'll never be the bad guy again.
Never.
It took a toll on him. He felt so awful.
I felt real bad, not gonna lie. But
There we go.
that's the commitment I made, so it's a promise I'll keep.
One of these days, he'll be back to being the bad guy. Until then, Monday, Alex is still plugging away at some Kakarot.
Man, I got to that scene where they just destroyed Videl. It's brutal.
Yep.
That guy, Popovich, he should not be standing on people's heads. It's not okay.
Not okay at all. Man, I'm really excited that you're getting to experience this, though.
Yeah, it's good. I'm really enjoying it.
And then Tuesdays, Dope Beats and Skater XL with Alex.
Hell yeah, I'm enjoying that as well. I'm getting a crew together slowly. Like, I'm getting, like, occasional, like, viewers who are talking to me about playing Skater XL and playing Skater XL with me. So I'm kind of like, if I just get a couple more people, I'll have a whole crew for the Tuesday Skater XL and chills.
Nice. That's what we need.
Are you gonna make a gang? When you're
Gang.
You're a jet all the way.
Gang.
Two very different things. Both of them mildly comical.
Yep.
And if you'd like to reach us with questions or input, our email address is mail@superggradio.com. Provide us a review on iTunes or the podcast app of your choice. Thanks for listening and good game.
Check out on the website a review of Ravenlock. Just came out, done by Big Brother the Web Podcast Phil. Did a review of Ravenlock for Xbox.
Hey, I'm jealous that he did that. Because I played the
It's on
last
Game Pass.
one that they did.
What was the last one?
It was something generation, Echo Generation?
Oh, yes. Okay, I didn't know that was the same.
Yep.
That was the same people.
Same company. All right, good game, Alex.
Good game, Getty.
Good game, Joel.
Good game.
Good game, Alec.
GG.
And now we make the sausage.